This is Kick Chat brought to you by
KYG.
Back at y'all with another one. Alright, another week, another topic. Magic Johnson. On the show Winning Time, it was an episode where he signed his contract for Converse.
Mm-hmm.
But during that whole melee, Phil Knight made an appearance and he offered Magic to sign to Nike, and it pretty much his Magic signature sneaker would have been the Blazer with Magic in purple on the back. But he said he didn't have the capital to compete with the big sneaker brand at that time, but he was going to offer Magic stocks in the company.
For sure.
In 79, Nike stock like 18 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Where it is right now, if Magic had taken that contract, it would have been 5.2 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Did Magic miss out, or did he save Nike by not signing that contract?
All right, so you know how they say people be fumbling bags, dropping bag. That's what that did. And I had to do some research, right? Normally I come to the show and I just know the thing. But this time,
first time being prepared, talk about it.
But this time I had to do some research. Right now, Magic Johnson has a net worth of $600 million. He's one of the richest athletes, right? But 5.2 billion over 600 million. That's just one case. Along with that, Converse essentially gets brought out by Nike. So life comes full circle. Life comes full circle in that way where, hey, I know I signed his contract was $100,000. He signed that with Converse. And now they get bought out by the company who he didn't take because he didn't know much about stocks. I think he also said he didn't know about stocks. He was going to take the sure thing, $100,000 at that time. Sure thing, I'm going to take the money and live with it. So, and that goes into another thing that we don't talk enough about, how people of our color, our complexion, or our ethnicity don't know enough about stocks to where a person who it seems lucrative is going to sell you one, oh, this $100,000, you're not going to get this offer anywhere else, take it. But then they go belly up. And the people who come to you first with this, I'm going to give you stock, eventually end up buying the company. So
I do want to build off that belly up topic that you thought, because I feel like when that episode dropped, a lot of people did Monday morning quarterbacking. Like, oh, Magic missed out. They're supposed to be his businessman. How could he not take the stock in Nike? And looking at it from a 1979 mind state, I totally agree with Magic. I would not have. And everybody goes, but if he was Magic, look what Jordan did. And I've always said this. There was so much more that went into Nike's success than just Jordan.
Sure.
Which, though the things, the picture I'm about to paint, that is the reason the Jordans are the Jordans and Nike took off the way it did. Those things weren't available during Magic's rookie season and really pretty much into his career. And I'll be honest, me personally, I think one of the things that led to the most success for Nike and Jordan brand was Mike was idolized in a urban renaissance era. Like Mike got signed in 85 was the first. Hip hop was made in the late 70s, but it started to get out there and affect culture in Mike's era. And Mike was like, he wasn't the rapper guy, but the way he switched the league, like changed the league's image, was the same way hip hop was changing culture's image at that same time. All that comes together. Like old school sneakerheads, they just don't talk about Mike. They talk about the rappers wearing the Jordans, the hustlers wearing the Jordans, like making that sneaker a signature thing in the hood. Wasn't a thing. Wouldn't have been possible when Magic would have signed that deal. And I'll be honest, also, I do like the fact that Magic and Bird both went with Converse, because Magic and Bird were simultaneously the face of the league.
For sure.
So Magic wouldn't have been able to give to Nike what Mike was able to do, because Mike was the solo star of the league when he came out. Like when Mike ascended, Magic and Bird was done, Isaiah was done. There was no like, oh, Mike and this, but it was Mike and that's it, which helps take Nike to where it is. Magic signs that, even if they get like after, it may still be like, oh yeah, but look, like Nike will still be attached to Magic. I don't think it goes where it goes. Like I really do think Magic not taking that contract, low key, save Nike and allow it to be what it is that we see them as today.
Yeah. I got one point, right? In hearing you.
Also, the belly up thing.
Yeah.
If Magic says, all right, cool, I'm gonna take this stock, and they go belly up, which was very plausible, we wouldn't be like, oh, dumb deal. Like, so I don't blame for taking that.
But we still say the Converse deal was a dumb deal.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of dumb deal.
What happened on Monday quarterback? Like he
Dog.
dropped everything that he's done. Like people say, Magic is a businessman. He would still have been able to do with the stock that Nike was giving him. And you
Oh, he wouldn't have.
Yes, the Magic Johnson
Oh,
did.
if Magic takes that stock and that company goes belly up, he has nothing.
He was getting paid by he was getting paid by the league.
Okay, yeah. I'm talking about from the shoe deal.
Also
Yes.
have revenue
Coming from other, yes, of course.
And it circles back to the point you made about him and Bird being the face at the same time, right? How many championships does Magic have?
5.
How would that not have generated success in Nike sales?
But that's back to when they won the quarterback. When Magic signed with Converse, how much championship did he have?
Not a single one.
All right. So you have to make a decision for when. Everybody can't go. Everybody does not have a psychic and they're going to be like, oh, yo, you're going to get 5. This is going to be worth this. Dog, he has to make a decision from right there.
But you understood that he came over championship, right?
Not when he signed.
Yes, he did.
A college championship.
Exactly. But
cut it out. Cut it out, dog. Cut it out. Melo came off a college championship. Where are his issues?
He signed with Jordan. He has
exactly, dog. Exactly. Come on, stop it, dog.
He has shoot
Stop
success.
it, dog. Like, how many people say Lonzo Ball is stupid for signing with Big Baller Brand?
A lot of people.
All right, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
So see, you know why? Because once again, Monday morning quarterback. You can say Lonzo was dumb because it didn't work out, but then you can't then say, oh, Magic is dumb because it would have worked out. We don't know that. At that time, Lonzo was taking that same chance that Magic passed up on. So like, everyone made the right decision for where they were. Yo, come on, dog.
Nah.
Magic was still working. I'm taking 100,000.
Stocks. He was getting paid. He was getting paid from the league, and every single thing that he's done in his life.
Oh, you're talking about stocks. Yo, stocks don't always work out, dog.
Stocks don't always work out.
Oh, you know the stock market crashed post hit that deal being offered, right?
Of course.
All right, so it could have been bad. They could have not came back.
It could have been bad.
And you're saying it's stupid because it didn't. There was more chances of it going bad than there was of it going well.
Not really.
Yes, really.
There was. What was the competition?
Dog,
who else offered Magic?
Adidas, Converse, I think British Knights, Pumas, who were all bigger. Yo, Nike wasn't thought of.
There wasn't that much competition.
Dog, Nike wasn't a competition. Those were established brands.
They were established brands, but they really weren't.
Yes, they really were.
Competition. Because they only focused, and like you said, right? Nike's success came from more than just Jordan. Those companies were only focusing on sports.
Dog.
They didn't branch out.
Dog, here's my thing. Before Nike started branching out to hip hop branched out to Nike. And like Nike and hip hop's collab really had nothing to do with Nike. Hip hop attracted to it because of Mike. You feel me? And then Nike was like, oh snap, they're moving units. So now we'll push stuff back. Yo, come on. Adidas was established, bro. They had to do that.
It was crazy. It was better for Nike for that deal to have not happened for
That's
Nike
what I said.
than it was for him not to take it. You said it was better for him, but it was better for Nike.
Actually, I said the question was, did Magic drop the ball, or did he save Nike by not taking that deal?
So
And he saved Nike.
He saved Nike.
Because like I said, I don't think Magic could have bought to Nike
He also dropped
what Mike did. Now, I don't think he dropped it. I'm not going to sit here, as great of a businessman as he is, I'm not going to sit here and say he dropped the ball because he didn't have the foresight when he was like, what, 21?
5.2, more than 600.
That's all right, but how many companies were started in 79 that right now, he bought their stock, right now is worth absolutely nothing?
I don't know when that start.
Huh? That was 79.
When did it start?
I don't know.
We gotta figure that out. Because I'm sure after.
But see, all you're doing is picking winners. How much losers came from that time?
I'm pretty sure.
What Blockbuster stock?
I'm pretty sure there was a lot of
Exactly. So I'm saying, like,
but stocks is about that, and that's why I brought up that.
which is they have bad stocks.
Which a lot of people, but there are people who know which stocks are going to do well. That's why they work in the stocks. That's why they work in stocks.
There's people that say you take a chance on the stock. Stocks are all chances. There's no such thing as a guaranteed stock, bro. There's no such thing.
They're winner stocks.
Dog.
They're winners. This is more.
All the real
There's
winner
more-
stocks start out as a chance. That's why they're winners.
But they.
If you buy Apple stock right now, it's not the same as somebody that bought Apple stock when it first dropped.
For sure. But
All
they
right,
have
but
foresight.
the person
they have
who bought
foresight
Apple
to-
stock when it first dropped is taking a chance.
But they have the foresight to do that.
No, they did. They had a lot of times they had the capital to take the chance.
Okay, and Magic was getting paid by the league.
A lot of times they had the cap. Magic was a young man, and he had to secure his family first. Like, I'm gonna take 100,000 over something that could equal out to nothing.
And I get that, but you got the bat. Using foresight,
But you can't.
Being retrospective,
You can't judge him in.
but being retrospective,
Okay.
you dropped the bat. Would you not agree to that?
Retrospective, yeah, definitely should have taken the deal.
Alright.
But honestly, I don't even think so. Cause I think if Magic was the face, dog, when Magic gets that unfortunate disease, that would have a terrible impact on Nike. So using foresight, if you want to talk about everything that happens, I don't think Magic going with Nike would have been a good move for him or Nike.
No, but their success wasn't only Michael. Like you said, their success wasn't only Michael. It was the Air Max 1. Those shoes still would have been designed. They would. Those shoes are not attached to Michael, right?
Nike's attached to Michael.
Exactly. Just like Nike would have been attached to the Air Max 1 and Magic.
What I'm saying is,
And then
Magic isn't Mike.
he didn't have to be Mike.
Dog,
All he
but Mike
needed-
had to be Mike for Nike to be what it was.
But that's not true.
Yeah, listen,
Because you said
let us know how y'all feel down in the comments below.
you said success came from other things other than
Yes, but once again, it all had to be attached to the fact that this was the solo star of an upcoming entertainment league.
Sure, but the league wasn't attached to Magic. Even if it was attached to Bird at the same time, was it not attached to Magic?
Does the word solo mean nothing to you?
It means absolutely nothing in the sense
Alright.
where it.
If it means nothing, then we might as well move on.
What's
Next question is on you.
That's on me.
Next question is on you.
Alright, let's get it.
Before you, let us know how y'all feel in the comments below. Did Mike drop
Magic.
Did Magic drop the ball, or taking all things into consideration, did he save Nike by not signing that deal?
Sure. All right. I'm moving on to our next topic, which is one that kind of gets brought up, but not necessarily. Do you feel what makes a sneaker successful? Is it having a limited release with a higher resale, or a mass release that sells out? Once again, what makes a sneaker more successful?
Okay. I'm gonna go with a mass release. Selling out.
Okay.
Like the fact that
Can I caveat?
you read books.
SAT words, you feel me?
Yeah.
Selling out the first day or over a series of time restocks.
It doesn't have to be the first day. Just like
Okay.
let's take like the cool gray 11s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would be a bad because they pretty much sold out the first day, even though they had restocks. Any GR that's mass produced that sells out, like whether within a month, as long as the stock that you mass produce sold, I think for the brand that is more lucrative than a limited release sneaker, of course selling out and having a high resale value. Because if I'm Nike, the purpose of a Travis Scott or Off-White, can't say Billy, but like collab sneakers like that are gonna have crazy resale values are only to make my base sneakers look good. So like everyone can't get that limited shoe. But if I can't get people to go, oh, if I can't get that limited shoe and they move on to something, then that limited shoe is a fail. My real success if I'm Nike is them then going and buy the rest of those base level shoes. Like when the fours sell out.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I see success. Not actually in the actual Travis of itself.
Got you. For me, I tend to swing the opposite way, even though the narrative gets painted that way anyway. But
Narrative, right?
a limited sneaker with a higher resale brings attention to even the base levels.
Yeah.
So if I start out with a Union 2, right? Say that's the most recent collab, right? If I start with a Union 2, right? And it sells out. Granted, Benjamin Kicks has most of the stock. But if it sells out, then I can release two that normally wouldn't sell out if I didn't initially push the collaboration.
Alright. But what I heard when I heard the question is, which one is the real success? Like, got it. You let's use the two. The Union 2s come out, they sell out, they have a lucrative retail when it comes to StockX and Go.
Yeah.
Now, if I drop the OG Chicago 2,
For sure.
if that comes out after,
Yeah.
and that sits in stores, it has to go to outlets.
Uh-huh.
Was I successful? Like, I feel like that limited shoe having high retail is only important if the base models then sell. Like, if the base models don't sell, then
But you're
you
more,
can make all that money means nothing to me.
but you're more than likely going to sell a base model if you have a collab lead that base model. Because not a lot of people, like a lot of mass people, know the story behind some of the sneakers. They just like the sneaker, they like the colors or whatever, and they purchase it that way. That's how you get the walk-ins, right? But if there's an artist that's attached to that sneaker, then I'm more than likely to buy it because I know the artist. So their success can come from Travis dropping, or we use Travis, right? Because Travis is gonna eventually drop a shoe this year.
We can talk about what Travis did. Like, these selling out crazy retail led to these, the GRs, selling out.
Yeah, sure.
If these sell out, do what they did,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't get these sold, then for me, these didn't really do anything.
Of course, but they do something. That's the thing. Because of those, we can create this model for the people who can't get that model.
All right, but here's my thing. If the people don't then want these models, then that tells me these weren't really that successful.
Exactly. But if they don't sell out, if they don't get the hype that they do, then they weren't successful to begin with. But because they do sell out, because they do have this resale now that we can create a model that's similar to that model for the people who can't buy them at this price to have something that looks similar. So yeah, it's going to sell out. Now we generate the revenue because
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the collab almost all the time is going to sell out.
For sure.
But my thing is, if I'm like, I go, yo, they'll buy the collab, but the general release that is similar to the collab, they won't buy that. Then to me, that collab wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it's never going to be worth it if they don't buy a base model. But that's why. Nike
So then
wants-
success is more based on the base model being able to be sold.
No, success is based on how you introduce the base model. And more than likely, Nike is going to introduce a base model with a collab that is in front of it.
Got that. But what I'm trying to say is, the collab could do as good as it wants. If the base model then can't follow up and move out of stores, then the collab, like, that's when they'll judge a collab.
But the collab is going to do that. And that's why they lead. That's why it's a leading act to
The collab don't
the
always
base,
do that though.
the base model. Then the collab is a success. You can't look at Then they're both not going to be a success. How about that? Then they're both not because the base model is not selling. We're not making any money off the base model, and the collab didn't do what it was supposed to do. But if the collab does what it's supposed to do, then we're going to be successful
What
because
was the stop? I think, what is it that the collab is supposed to do?
the collab introduces all the base models.
Okay.
You don't lead with the base model and
is
hope
the
that
collab
base-
supposed to sell out? Don't worry about the base model right now. Is the collab just supposed
The
to sell
collab is
out?
supposed to sell out
Okay.
and lead the base model releasing.
Okay. Is it just lead to the base model releasing or lead to the base model being successful?
Lead to the base model being successful. And
So
collab
if
is
the
not-
base model is successful, let's say the collab sold
successful.
out, the collab sold out, it did crazy numbers, but the base model didn't.
then that means the collab isn't successful.
So therefore, success is based on
The collab.
the GR.
No, it's based on the collab.
Yo, dog. If the collab could sell out, have a high retail, but it's not successful if the base model doesn't also sell out, then the market, when you see success is in the base model.
No, because the collab is not going to have a high. The reason why a base model won't be successful is because the collab doesn't have the hype or the generated revenue after market price that it should have. People only want to buy the mochas and are willing to pay $500 or $400 at release date because they look like Travis.
Got it.
So yes, the mochas will sell out, and then people will continue to buy them or profit off of them because they look like the Travis.
That's
So
what makes the Travis successful.
That's what makes Nike successful. That's what makes the base model successful because Travis was successful in selling out and generating the revenue that it needed so that people want to buy
Alright, answer the
the
question.
sneaker.
Okay, we gotta drink the cake.
Oh yeah, for sure. What cake are we dripping this?
The Jordan 1 Heritage.
All right, cool.
Oh, you want to start?
Oh yeah, for me, I look at like the Travis, the fragment one where it's a mostly white base, and then has spots of red and black as well. So what I did was I accentuated the red, and I have a black DMX No Live DMX t-shirt. Just black, it has DMX in red, so I'm gonna put an X. Followed by a flannel. I still, for some reason, even in the summer, I still do flannels because it might get chilly at night. Or I just like the Kurt Cobain wrapping around the waist. And then I believe I had some black pants. You know, kept it real simple because of the white base at the bottom. I added some darkness to the top.
Yeah, I can't lie. The way that shoe is designed, that white base really throws it off, and it makes you want to gravitate towards the red. But I'm like, I feel you should kind of stray away from that because you don't want to do too much.
Yeah, sure.
So it's summertime. I started with some shorts with his basketball shorts with like fancy watches all over it from Startup Capital Co. Real
What's
smooth, I think like $40, $50 for the shorts, nothing crazy. A Playboy crew neck from Urban Outfitters. Once again, the price isn't anything crazy. And just because you do want to have a little bit of red, there's this Yankee fit with these bunny ears. I got the Yankee fit with the bunny ears is kind of expensive, but sometimes the accessories are worth it. So yeah, that's my fit. Let us know how you guys rock these sneakers down below. Let us know if you plan to cop them. It's your boy Sneaker D.
Hey, you got your stuff?
This is Kick Track, brought to you by
KYG.
We out.
See ya.